Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to ECRC. Today we are on the workbench because we have something exciting to work on. I'm going to be building a vintage Tamiya Astute.
The Astute, a long-awaited two-wheel drive off-road racer from Tamiya. It's here now and ready to shape the radio control racing scene for the 90s. Powerful, aerodynamic, and sophisticated in every detail. The all-new Astute is the racer that will bring back the fun-to-drive spirit and deliver the best of that radio control sport it has to offer.
I've never built an Astute before. It should be a lot of fun. I have all the parts cleaned and taken care of, ready to go, made sure nothing was broken. There were some parts I did have to replace. The rear hub carriers, the front steering knuckles. I also got some 3D printed parts, which I'm going to use instead of running the original parts, just so I can save the original parts in case I ever want to make this a shelf queen. But I do have some exciting pop-ups. So I have high cap shocks, vintage high cap shocks. I have some universals, and I have my TTC gearbox, which I took off of the Madcap, if you guys watched my last video. So, you know, this was also on the Madcap. These are also on the Madcap. So, yeah, that Madcap has been a donor for hop-ups for this Astute. But, so I got a super stock BZ motor, and that's been modified with bearings instead of the original bushings. There's my cups that came out. I did put a 26 tooth pinion in there. That is the largest you can go while still having a really good gear mesh. And I'm hoping with the super stock BZ that should work okay, because it's really hard to find 05 mod pinion gears for this. So it's the same pinion gear, well, same pitch as a DF03, the Dark Impact or Keen Hawk, but it's kind of hard to find these pinions now. They're just not available. This is a steel pinion, so if this works out, then I'm good. With this motor and this pinion, and the gear ratio wasn't really great with the TTC gearbox. It actually slowed the vehicles down a little bit. So I should be good with that, hopefully. Got the original chassis here. I'm going to try out some new bearings. So this company here, Team JB Hobbies, they put together bearing kits for multiple, you know, Tamiya RCs out there, and I'm going to give them a try, and I'll let you guys know what I think of this new company here, Team JB Hobbies. But as you can see, it's a lot of bearings. The original one just had mostly bushings. I think the bearings were only in the gearbox as far as I remember when I took it apart. I'm not going to make a full all-on build video because I really want to enjoy this. I've never built an Astute before. I also have a new body and under tray, a new wing, some new tires for it. I do have original tires and wheels, so it should be a fun build. I can't wait to get this one going. Okay, so here is our finished chassis. This is completely ready to run. I got the electronics in, as you can see, the high cap dampers, everything is ready to go. So let's just talk about a few of the upgrades that are on this. So obviously the high cap shocks. It is not the regular yellow CVAs. I did put a Super Astute front brace on it, and I did put the Super Astute vintage gearbox in it. So this TTC gearbox is so much better than the stock. The gear ratio is not as good, but all you have to do is put a pretty hot motor in it and a nice size pinion, and you get plenty of speed out of it. I have a super stock BZ motor, which is one of my favorite modern Tamiya motors, and I did upgrade it to have bearings on both sides because these come with bushings normally. You do get a little more, speed and a little bit less heat running with the bearings instead of the bushings. I have a Hobbywing 1060, a high-tech servo, high torque servo saver, which I highly recommend to anybody running pretty much any Tamiya buggy. And a couple more things. So these front wheels and tires are not obviously stock. You guys can probably tell by the size. These are modern 2.2 wheels and Schumacher mini pin tires. So I do have, as you can see, I have a really good set of vintage wheels and tires, and you can see the size difference. So not only are they smaller, but they're really hard to come by at this point. They were only used on the St. Dragon, the Madcap, the Astute, and I think the Bearhawk, and that's it. Now there are companies that make 1.9 inch size tires. CRP made some, and let's see, does Schumacher make a 1.9 or a 2.0? I think it's a 2.0, but either way, you can find tires that will fit the 1.9 inch wheels. It's just not ideal. So this is going to be a runner. This is not a shelf queen. When I do put it on the shelf, I was thinking of, I'll silicone these up and make them look really nice. And, eventually if I do shelf it, I'll make it a shelf queen. And but all these hop-ups are staying on because this is period correct. These are period correct. The ESC, whatever the electronics are, what they are. So I used this Team JB Hobbies sealed bearing kit. Comes with all the bearings you need, and these were fantastic, very smooth. The price is right. I would definitely check them out. If you guys have a chance, look up Team JB Hobbies. They have all different kits, and their costs are pretty good compared to some other places that make kits. So definitely check them out and give them a try. I definitely will use them again. So now on to the body. I did already cut out and paint the tray, the lower tray. So I painted that in black. And I did already cut out and paint the wing and the body. So this is a Team Blue Group, so it's got that blue tint over it. So I did kind of test it out with the wing first, and I'll show you how the wing came out. Okay, this is in gunmetal. I didn't want to do box art. I mean, I could always get another body and do box art. I have extra decals from MCI, but I am not going to do box art for my runner. So I don't know if you can see, I got some lame flake in there, and then I got gunmetal. And I just wanted to see what it looked like with the yellow, and I think it came out great. It looks, it looks different in the sun, as opposed to these LED lights that I'm running it under. I was thinking about using, for the side pieces, I was actually thinking about just using smoke on the side. Now I'm going to take the film off the body. Let me set the camera up. All right, I'm going to get some decals on this. We're going to put the lower tray on. I'm going to put the wing on, and we'll be back. Okay, you guys ready for the reveal? All right, as you can see, I did use all the original stickers in pretty much the same locations as the original paint scheme. I did not put the number 5 here. It's kind of like a weird spot to put that. I just don't think it's necessary. I got the number, the race number here, which I think is good enough. I think it looks great. I think it would hide the lame flake and gunmetal paint also, so I never put that on there. So I did end up smoking these, and I think it came out great. I've never done that before, and I really like the look of it, especially with all the metal bits on it, and this being gunmetal. Like, I feel like putting, you know, solid color wing sides on would probably hide some stuff. So I love how it came out. I probably would do that again on another model if I thought it would look good. Also with the high caps too, the gunmetal looks really good. I never really thought the high caps looked good with the red paint job. So I really like how this came out. I know those purists out there are going to be like, why didn't you paint it red? But you know what? It's just a body and wing. This isn't the original body and wing anyway. I've never found one. If I do find an original body and wing, a vintage set, I will paint it box art, and I will try to get, you know, if I get the whole body set, it comes with the decals, but if not, I would try to source some original decals also. So I really love how this came out. You know, it's great that you don't even really need body clips on this because the Velcro is so strong and it goes along the whole, both sides. But the decals are great. They're easy to put on. These are pretty good quality for, you know, MCI reproduction decals. All right, so that wraps up the video on my vintage Astute. I know I didn't do a step-by-step, you know, build process. I didn't really want to do that, to be honest. I really wanted to just enjoy it and not have to worry about getting, you know, camera shots, pictures, video, whatever, each time I build something. I really did enjoy this one a lot. And yes, it is over-engineered.
The prototype vehicles were raced in many high-level competition events during development and gained high marks for speed, controllability, and ease of maintenance. The compact gearbox uses a ball-type differential, and the access hatch provides fast pit maintenance when necessary. The Astute uses 70 and 77 teeth spur gears, plus 16 to 23 teeth pinions. These provide a broad choice of ratios for matching the car to different competition, tracks, motors, and battery packs. Both front and rear ends can be adjusted to different camber angles. Rear toe end for better and more precise handling. Pivot choices on the shock towers and suspension arms allow different shock absorber angles and heights.
It is typical Tamiya. It has its flaws, it has its problems. There are some parts that might end up breaking. I'm gonna have to source them. I do have some spares. I did use a couple 3D printed parts on this, like I spoke in my other video, but you know what, to be honest, you not only can you not tell, but they are stronger than the brittle ones that I actually have. And I do have the vintage parts, so if I ever do shelf it, all the vintage parts are going back on, and I'm gonna, you know, make it put it back to original and get a new body and wing and repaint it in the correct I think it's PS2 color. So anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. I really do appreciate your support. Give me a thumbs up if you can. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I got more cool stuff coming all the time. Thanks a lot, everyone. I'll see you all in the next video.